Welcome back to another Monday OnlineDrummer.com drum lesson. I'm Nate Brown. In this lesson, you'll need the sheet music called Drum Fill from Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. You can get that for free at OnlineDrummer.com, and we'll put a link in the description below. In this lesson, I really want to go over my favorite fill from the song, and it's not the intro. The intro is the most recognizable part of the song. Right when you hear it, you recognize what song it is. But I want to go over a fill from the third verse, and it's really syncopated. It kind of loses the backbeat, makes the listener think, what? And then John Bonham goes right back on with the backbeat on 4. So it's really cool, and in this lesson, I'll show you that fill and also some ways to apply it to your own fills. And I'll start by playing it. The first measure on that notation is just straight 2, 3, 4. And Bonham uses a really loose hi-hat there. And you want to emphasize the 1, 2, 3, 4 during the regular groove. Accent. The fill actually begins on beat 3 of measure, well, I guess it's measure 110, but the second measure on that excerpt. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. You want to accent both the hi-hat and the snare there. 1, 2, 3. And the next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Notice that 4 is accented and the and of 3 is just a lighter hit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then measure 112 or the fourth one on that page. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's cool in itself. And if he had come out of that fill with a crash like you would expect and just continue with the beat, that would sound like this. I'll play it 109 to 112 without the fancy measure 113 that I'll talk about in a minute. So that fill was cool in itself, but it's what Bonham does after that. It's unexpected, and it's a really cool technique. So take a look at measure 113. Instead of just playing the crash on 1 and continuing with the beat, he plays the backbeat or an accent on the snare on 1 and then he accents the 3 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3, and the beat continues from 4 and 1. So the listener's thrown off of that backbeat, but then on beat 4, Bonham goes back into the groove. So 113 again slowly, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. To emphasize the difference that this technique makes, so you can hear the difference, I'm going to play, again, measure 109 to 112, and instead of the fancy fill, I'm just going to go straight, as usual, with the crash and back into the beat. Then I'm going to play it, including Bonham's cool fill on measure 113. Now that's great to know when you're trying to play this song, but it's always good to examine these grooves and try to apply the techniques to your own drumming. So the next thing on the page, it says applying the techniques to your own drumming, and I have one measure which is just with slashes. That means you're going to improvise any drum fill, maybe a drum fill that you usually play. Instead of coming out of that drum fill with a crash on 1 and back into the beat, we're going to use Bonham's way to go back into the music. So I'm going to play an example of this, and I'm going to use a very simple 16th note fill around the kit just so you can hear the technique. And I'll start by playing just a simple drum beat as well. And now I'll mix it up with a little more advanced fills. I hope you have fun with this drum lesson and that it inspired some ideas for you. Play around with these techniques. Remember, this is just one fill in particular from the song. Steve Lee has the full note-for-note transcription of this song available on OnlineDrummer.com. You can download it and print it today. Have a great week of drums. Keep drumming.